Quite often we talk to clients or people who are looking to building or renovate or extend, and they're often going, well, where do I start? What do I do? Where's the best place to get ideas, inspiration? How do I find out what's out there that I can put into my home? Because there's lots of products that most people don't even know exist. Well, the answer to that is what we're going to talk about in this podcast today. So let's get into the episode.
This podcast is brought to you by Independent Building Advice. IBA acknowledges traditional owners of the land and waters this podcast is recorded on. If you find this episode helpful, follow us for more so we can continue putting out free value for all homeowners in Australia. It really goes a long way. Enjoy the episode.
Okay, another episode of the Home Building Podcast where we've got a really good guest here, and this is from Homebase in Subiaco, which is Gino Premici?
Correct.
Yeah, okay, working on that. So welcome aboard. Welcome coming
Thank you.
in. Thank you. Homebase in Subiaco, if you're not aware, is actually a great design and build centre. It's the Homebase Design and Build Centre, where they actually have a collaboration of so many different basically suppliers, whether it be paving, kitchens, bathrooms, you name it, is all under one roof. 2-story, I actually don't know how many square metres, we'll talk to you about that in a second. But the great thing about it is it's just it's a great location if anyone's thinking of building and renovating to just come here and go, okay, I've got everything at my fingertips. You can walk 20 metres and cover like 5 different stores of completely different things. And it's just a really good idea to compare ideas or options for you with whatever you're doing with your home, which to us was just amazing for us to come here because our office is based from here as well. And we thought, you know what, getting you on the podcast would be amazing because to hear your thoughts about Homebase, what it's about, because I think a lot of people either know about it and come here and think it's great, or they've saw it a while ago and forgot about it, and then they go, oh my gosh, I forgot about this place. And I think it should be really a first port of call for a lot of people. So thank you, Gino, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's great to be here.
It's great to have you. So so tell us a bit about Homebase, what it's about, how you came about with Homebase, what your background is, and what's it all about.
Yeah, so Homebase is just over 30 years old, so it's been around for a long time. So I think a lot of people connect with Homebase, have forgotten about it over time, remember coming here as kids with their parents. So there's a whole lot of stories around Homebase history and having been here for so long. But essentially, it's been around for that 30 years, and it has just grown from strength to strength. What started off as sort of a 100 square metre showroom is now over 5,000 square metres of space.
5,000.
Across sort of 2.5 levels. With thousands of products on display, over 200 brands. It's a significant showroom essentially, and it's Australia's largest sort of building, renovating, landscaping centre, where you can come in and find a whole bunch of ideas, products, aspiration, inspiration. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do when you come here, and not just sort of shop, but also learn, through education and courses that we have, and so there's a whole range of things. And the actual property itself has a whole bunch of other businesses on it. There's a Bunnings, and so we've got Caesarstone showroom. There's a whole bunch of things here as a hub, which make the place iconic, I think, in terms of its length of time, its offering, and also being in Subiaco. Is a fabulous
the location is so convenient. It's funny, you go to Bunnings and you just pick up some gardening materials, maybe a hammer, and also get a new bathroom kitchen while you're here. Just drop it to Homebase, grab a new kitchen, and you should be good, right?
The perfect DIY.
Oh, I've done it. Yeah, absolutely, and get a hot dog on the way out. But that's the thing about it is what was really interesting to me is because we were looking at different locations of where to set up independent building advice. And we're looking at South Perth office we're going to convert. And we looked at a place in West Leadville, which is a heritage listed place. And then one day I went, why don't we just go to Homebase? And I went, oh my gosh, it's like the most obvious thing. It's like, and you guys have been incredibly easy to work with. It's just been a dream. Everything we've asked for or maybe had something we had an issue with or something we had to work through, it's just been a dream. So I'm not just saying that, it's been every staff member here has been phenomenal for us. But it was just so obvious. And it was funny, Riley and I went for a walk the other day to go check out some kitchen stuff around here. And there were so many products I didn't even know was a thing. And I went, oh my God, this is exactly what we were trying to talk to a client about, or this is what we needed. And like the guys that do the timber outhouses sort of things upstairs were great. And then we had the guys that do the covers over the, you've got an old bathroom and you want to put a new stone top over the top of it. I took a photo of that. And later that day I was talking to a client, this is what you need. I didn't even know it was a thing. And that's the thing though, is that it's got so many options here that if you don't know what you don't know. And coming here, you go, I didn't know you could do that, or that looks great. I didn't even think of that. And I think a lot of people build and renovate and they get to the end. And I think the worst thing you could have is find out about a product that you didn't know was there after you've already done something and you would have done something differently. And I think Homebase has just got that whole, everything's here really, that gives you opens your eyes to new things that are out there.
Yeah, look, and I think that's probably part of the success of Homebase over the years. Like it's where you can find hidden gems, because there are a lot of businesses, a lot of small businesses, family-run businesses who have these great products but don't have the budget to have these big showrooms or to be able to spend money on setting up things at a scale. So the opportunity that Homebase gives these people and these businesses is the opportunity to get in front of people, and a lot of people. So the notion that you can find these things in here that you might not necessarily have found otherwise is part of the charm, and I think the reason why Homebase works, because within that you've got these amazing products that people are developing and getting out to market, but then you've also got established brands in here that provide the credibility and the ability to really showcase not only their product but also to showcase the rest of Homebase. So if you're coming in here to see a Caesar stone sample, you're also going to see some amazing kitchen design, and you're also going to see some bathroom products and tapware, and so it all kind of works quite symbiotically. And I think when you do find those little gems, I think when you're building or renovating and you see something that you weren't quite actually thinking about, or you were thinking about but didn't think it existed, it's like a light bulb moment, and that's a great thing during that process.
Absolutely, because it's funny how with social media, and Riley will probably shoot me down after this podcast about man, what are you saying is totally wrong. But with social media, businesses basically will send out content and they'll put in their, who they're aiming at, age group, demographic, that kind of thing. And they're trying to reach people who are looking for something, and that's great. And you might see something in your feed that's great, or you might look online, you might Google something. But the reality is that when you come to a place like Homebase, you may think you're looking for one thing, but you actually discover something else that's different. Or you go, oh, that's the thing. Like you're going to stumble across, because everything here is about building and renovating, that you're going to stumble across something you didn't know you were looking for it, but you didn't know it was a thing, but you find it here. And that's where I think the real power is. Even for someone, I've been in the industry for 25 years, that I'm still seeing stuff go, that's great, or that's a great way of doing it. And I just think that's the great thing about it. It's like a department store, but for building and renovating. Like you go to a David Jones, well, this is specific to that. And that's where I think it should be a first port of call for people when they're looking at doing something, as opposed to going to display villages. Display villages are great, but you might see something that you really like, but you don't know where to get that from or how it's going to be pulled off for you. Whereas here, you've got all the different suppliers that you can talk to, and they can give you that right feedback for what you're looking for with your home. And that's what I think is a really big bonus of this place, because you've got the experts in each area that can help bring your project together and give you that finish that you want. And that's where I see the advantage there. I mean, there's a place for display homes too. I'm not knocking. There's a place for social media, but Homebase just gives you that spectrum of options at a grander scale.
Yeah, look, and I think it's just another part of your toolkit, right? As a business, and if you're marketing your business and you're looking at sales and you're trying to get out there, this is another tool for you to use. It's available. There's a lot of people that come through here, and I think you sort of touched on, the notion that it's not a specific market here, right? There are people who are renovating, there are people who own a building, there are people who are building, there are people who are landscaping. There is a whole range of people that come in here from they're first home buyers in their early 20s, right through to empty nesters who are downsizing. So, you've got that full gamut of people coming through the doors that are looking for product, that are looking for ideas, that are looking for inspiration. So, you're opening your business to a great audience.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to be quite specific about who you're targeting. It is literally opening it up to anyone who are doing any of those things and showcasing your product to them. And it's 365 days a year, effectively.
Absolutely. Well, that's actually interesting you said that, because people spend all this money on social media marketing, outdoor signs, whatever. But here, if you actually did a stall here, it doesn't have to be a big stall, and it's actually, the price is quite reasonable. You actually have an invested market. People aren't here because they're trying to get their groceries. They're here because they're thinking about building or renovating. So you're exposing yourself 365 days a year to actually the clientele who are maybe interested in actually buying your product. And that's, you can even put your marketing budget to that, and because that's going to give you that exposure that you may not normally get.
Look, it's a destination, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think, again, it's an option for people who, while they might have warehouses or manufacturing facilities in the northern suburbs, the opportunity to have a showroom, and whether that's 8 square metres or whether that's 200 square metres, you have the ability to have a showroom that showcases your brand.
Yeah.
So, it's a pretty valuable, powerful tool, and I think again, it's the idea that you can just sort of come in here and walk around and just take things in and not be bombarded by salespeople and all that kind of stuff. So the process and part of the charm, I think, of Homebase is that not all of the displays and showcases are manned, so that you can actually walk through and feel comfortable and work at your own pace. But if you need some help, there are people here that can help you.
Yeah.
And I think, again, it's sort of that can be a double-edged sword sometimes. But I think also, if you need to speak to someone, you can always connect with those companies very easily.
Absolutely, and they're proactive in doing
Correct.
that. But some people might want to be bombarded by salespeople. Hey, look, the more the merrier. Not many people, I don't normally get that. But look, the fact that you can check it out for yourself and then ask questions when you're ready is a beautiful thing. But from a client perspective, Homebase offers actually, because what I love about this place is that you and the staff and the team really want to help people. You actually offer free services and also paid courses, things like that. Can you just tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So, it's great for us to showcase product and, have the opportunity and the platform for people to do that. But I think the most important thing for us is always making sure that the client experience is the best possible, so that they're coming into this thing with a positive view, because most people who are undertaking a build or a renovation, it's serious money, and it's people's biggest investments effectively, and you want to make sure that that's a positive experience. And so whether it's walking around the centre and learning about product, the other side of that is to make sure that people understand and get the help that they need when they're doing that. So we offer free design consults where you can spend an hour with one of our experts just to kind of get a feel for your plans.
Designer.
And space planning, and getting a little bit of feedback that then allows you to take that away to speak to your builder or your interior designer, just to kind of throw some ideas out, help with colour selection, just some simple things that help you along the way. Then there's also the courses, so you can actually come and attend a course, and there's a building and renovating course, there's a garden design course, there's a kitchen design course, there's an interior design course, and there's the owner builder course, which has been running for many years, and as has the interior design 6-week course. These are courses that are really allow you to learn and deep dive into some of these subjects, but also just to kind of get a handle on some of the basic principles, particularly if you're tackling it on your own. And also to give you, I think, a bit of empowerment if you are going down that track, to be able to talk with your interior designer or your builder, to have a little bit of knowledge about where you'd like to see things move, or how you'd like to see them go.
Well, that's the thing. The ability to communicate your ideas to the person who's putting it together for you is paramount. I mean, we hear it all the time that people get the keys to their house, not with our clients, but other clients obviously, but they get the keys to their house and they go, I didn't know that's what I was getting, and the ability to have some understanding, because there's, as you know, you could quit your job and do it full time for 3 years and still not understand everything. But to get a course that's going to just get you from zero to a level of knowledge that you're comfortable and you're confident with what your decisions you're making is worth its weight in gold. And they're all reasonably priced as well, from what I can see. So they're great.
Yeah, and they have been popular for many years, and I think finding that balance between what people need right now is also important for us. So, we are quite proactive in sort of rejigging classes and focusing on things that people are kind of needing right now. So, we're constantly evolving that side of the business, and we have staff that can walk you around if you need assistance, if you're looking for something in particular. But again, I kind of go back to the point of the coming to Homebase or building and renovating being it's a huge investment. It's a huge investment of your time and your money and all of those kind of things. And I think the most kind of positive part of that whole journey is being able to touch and feel and kind of understand the product. And you can't get that online, obviously.
No.
So the bonus of Homebase is that you can do a lot of that, which is a really wonderful thing and almost rare these days. But to find so much product under one roof, to be able to kind of get your ideas together and to put all of those things together is is unique.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it's funny, we talk to clients, and we were here the other day, and I had clients in this very room chatting to them about their home, and we're talking about their gardening and their alfresco area, and I was saying, look, let's do an aggregate, which is like a concrete with a rough stone. And I said, look, outside, I've had it before, it's really rough to walk on. And the client was giving me a hard time, saying, you got soft feet, and going, oh, have I? And I said, look, I'll probably do a hone, which is, for people listening, that's still, it's got a texture to it, and it's still got a bit of grip on it, but it's a lot smoother to walk on. And we're chatting here and going, it can't be that rough. I said, wait a second, I'm at Homebase. What am I doing? Let's go and have a look at it. And we got up and we walked, 30 metres, and we stood on, had all the honed and all the aggregate, had everything there. And we had decking, 5 metres away. So that's an alternative. And we had everything at our fingertips. And like you said, you can't do that online. I can't describe to you what honed feels like compared to sharp. And then we looked at all the sharp ones. So look how rough that is. Oh, I don't have soft feet after all. It hurts your feet too. And they agreed with me, sort of. But the point is, though, that because it's here, you can feel it, touch it, see it. You can see the colours, you can contrast, you can take samples and match it up. Because it's here, you're getting a real life version of it, and you're getting the best example of what to visualise, which I think a lot of people struggle with, of what that's going to be in their own home. And often weeks of debate can be sorted in seconds. And again, like I said earlier, there's products out there you probably don't even know are products. People say, oh, pavers, I don't like pavers. Well, there's a lot of different pavers out there. You can see other varieties. I was thinking that, but now I've seen that. I quite like that. And that's the beauty of it, because it's all at one stop. Yeah. And that's where I feel that, again, another story is I had a client who just sold their house, beautiful house, and they bought another place, client/friend in South Perth, and they want to rip the stone tops out of the kitchen, and they want to put new ones in. And they messaged me and go, hey, look, what display village do you think we should go to check out stone tops? I said, Homebase. I said, no, we want to go to a display village to see the latest stuff. And I said to them, there's 5 kitchen makers here, go to them. And then I spoke to Carol here, one of the office ladies, and she goes, there's 25 kitchen menus. I went, 25? Oh my gosh. So you get 25 people under one roof of different kitchens. They have all samples and different kitchens made out. You can just go from one to another and get all these ideas you didn't know you had, or you didn't know were out there, or inspiration, like you said earlier. Yeah. And that's where I feel, and then they came here and I thought, oh my gosh, it was so good. And that's where I think the real advantage of Homebase is to really get those ideas and take yourself from maybe 10% of an idea of what you want to 80% a lot quicker, and really try and cement that in. And then, like you said, if there's, I'm still not sure, get a free interior design course, or don't want to invest in a bit of money into one of these courses and get yourself up to speed. And that's where I think that Homebase is actually going out of the way to pay to help people get the best outcome is pretty terrific.
Yeah, and I think that, also the brands and businesses that are in here are really putting an amazing effort into their displays as well. So really thinking about what they're putting on display, how it's displayed, so that clients and potential clients understand how it can be used and applied and what it looks like, and the colours and all of those sort of things are really important. So it's great to see businesses really focusing on that to give people the best kind of opportunity to view their product in the best light.
Yep.
So, and to then have all of that available to you when you come in here, whether it's, grabbing a sample of decking or a stone top or anything, it's like, it's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's available. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you have a partner that doesn't want to renovate or build, and you do, get them here. By the time they left here, they're absolutely invested. Now, what are we doing? I can't wait to do it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But
it's pretty common. Like like during the week, you'll have one of the partners will come in during the week and do their rounds, and then you'll find that on the weekends it's the family coming because they're dragging them in here to show them what they found, and that's great, and that's part of that process as well. It's it's here. It's
an evolution to eventually you get started, and I mean even like I keep finding different nooks in here. Where, wait a second, there's elevators here, and there's lifts, and there's all sorts of, that's a thing. But it's pretty cool to just get that smorgasbord of options that are out there.
Yeah. And it's such a big place, right? So, it is nice for you to sort of wander through and take your time to wander through. And we find that people do come back multiple times.
Yeah.
You find that people we always say, the team sort of say, come in for a couple of hours and just have a wander. Just walk around.
Yeah.
Then come back and find the things that you're really looking for, and then take photos and take samples, and then come back and kind of put those together and maybe book in a consult. And, there's sort of a journey, I think, that we can help you with, and do bring the family to talk about some of those decisions and have a look at other options, and really just kind of have fun with it and enjoy it, because it can be daunting, like super daunting.
Huge,
it's a massive.
So I was going to you actually beat me to it. My next question was going to be, what would be the best way for people to come here and navigate, because it's such a big area.
Yeah.
And you said it anyway. But I was going to say, because you can get a map at reception of where everything is. Is there a journey you'd recommend taking, or?
Yeah, look, I think it really, if you're looking for something specific, then we can help you find those. But I think if you're just starting the journey, grab the map, have a walk around, really just walk around, follow the paths. And I think, again, the beauty of Homebase is that we have the brands and businesses are scattered through the actual centre. So you're not going to find all of the kitchens in one spot. It actually is a journey.
Yep.
It's great for you to kind of wander, because then you will find something that you might not have thought you needed. And it gives you the opportunity to really walk around and see everything. So we just do encourage people to do a lap on the ground floor, head up the ramp to the upper floors, and really just soak it in. And then with your little brochure card, you can tick off any brands that you're interested in to collect.
Great idea.
Brochures down at the welcome desk. There are QR codes that you can scan to connect with businesses if you're interested in product or finding out more information. And then you can ask questions. If you've got any sort of questions or you're not sure about anything, the team at the front desk, at the welcome desk, are very well versed. And also...
We've got interior designers, some of them interior designers.
Correct. Just, interior designers, interior architects. We've got a great little team. And so... If they're not sure, they'll also point you in the right direction and connect you with the right people. So it's a very powerful tool. And then, once you've done that, keep coming back. Look for particular things. Ask the question. If you've done some research online and there's a brand that you're interested in, it's most likely here. Come and grab a sample. If you need a sample for a bench top, or if you need some, laminate finishes, you can have a look at all of that. If you're looking at, aggregate, like I said, looking at concrete and finishes, it's all here. And there's some great opportunity to dive into it.
Yeah, look, 100%. And what's good is you are actually customer centric. You guys thought about it, It's free parking at the front. You've got a cafe, which is bloody good here. I think it's the same. I think they're the same ones that have the French Patisserie in Main Street. Yeah, which is dangerous because I live south of the river and we go to that one all the time. And now they're right near my office. But yeah, you come here and have a coffee. It's great. And not just plugging home, but I just think it's just such a great. Just such a great place to get the ideas from. And I think some people it's just not top of mind. I think it should be more top of mind because it's just a hub of what you want building and renovating. But if you don't want to spend any money, dangerous place. Very dangerous place because there's some really cool stuff. But to have a wander around as many times as you like and just get inspiration, I think it's a great idea. Yeah. But that's awesome, Gino. Now, we've got a question that we ask everybody, which is just to get an idea of your insight, especially for you, because you've got so many options that you could talk about. It's probably dangerous you actually asking this question. But the question is that you're building or renovating your home, and I've been past your house randomly with the Christmas lights because you had them out the front there. I saw you front. That's where you live. But like, let's say you had some relative gifted you $10,000 that you have to spend on your home. 10 grand, might not go far. It may go far depending on how you spend it. What would you spend it on your house to give that wow, fantastic sort of element?
Whoa. What would I spend it on? This might be controversial, to be honest, but...
Controversial is welcome.
I would probably invest that money in having an interior designer work with me on that idea. So...
Great idea.
For me, that's kind of, I think, you will find most value in getting the outcome that you want by bringing in professionals. So I find that, one of the biggest things for me is that you can go through this process of building and renovating and you can think you can do it yourself, but it's such a massive undertaking and there are so many details. And so I feel like spending that money on having a professional help you, and whether that's to design the kitchen or to design the bathroom, get it properly designed, have it properly designed, and do it and execute it that way.
I think that is an amazing answer. You're right. Now we're independent building advice, and we help so many people with that.
Of course.
But that is a great answer, and not from what we're saying, but we see so many mistakes on designs all the time where it's just basic mistakes that the designers overlooked it, or they haven't thought about it, or they didn't know. Where it's just even placing of certain things in the home, but even like colours or textures, just you could see the difference between a professional doing it and someone who's sort of done a course, not really truly understanding how it works. And when we see the finished results, you go, oh, not quite right, or wow, that's amazing. And I think that expertise, paying that kind of money or even some sort of money, that absolutely pays off for you in dividends. Someone that's got the confidence goes, no, this will work. And I go to houses that are finished because I don't really get involved in the colours normally myself. I can do a great kitchen layout design really well, but the colours, I know what I don't like. As Riley always goes, Behan, I don't know what I want, but I don't like that. And then he'll, that looks great, I don't know how you got to it. But it blows me away when I go to a home and go, wow, I would never in a million years choose those colours, but they look awesome because the person that put them together, whether it's a client or the interior designer, nailed it. And I would be too nervous to risk those colours, but they look great and I love it and I'd want it in my own home. But to have that confidence and have that eye that's trained, that I think it's a great investment. And I think the payoff is awesome.
Yeah.
And if it looks terrible, then you can blame someone else for it. So
And then I think on a personal level, I would just blow 10 grand on a beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Like,
amazing.
Totally, 100%, because it's something that you can then have, and particularly if someone gifted you 10 grand, it's a wonderful way to honour that person. Every day you see that piece and it reminds you of that person.
Absolutely.
So that's probably more sort of a personal...
I love it. Again, that's probably my top 3 list of what I'd have is artwork, because it's amazing. You can look at a piece of artwork and go, wow, that just changed the whole room, whole feel. But again, back to the other point, the interior designer, with that piece of artwork combination, they can really take that to the next level. So brilliant. Thank you very much, Gino, for coming on board. It's great to hear from you, and also Homebase. You do a great job as general manager here, looking after the place. Your staff are awesome. We really appreciate your feedback coming on board. We're probably going to get you on for another podcast for a different subject later on, but we'll talk about that another time.
Happy to.
Thank you for coming on and sharing it with us. People who are listening, Homebase, 55 Salvato Road in Subiaco. It is free parking at the front there. It's right next to Bunnings. No one can ever find the front door, but it's the Homebase Design and Build. Do we call it Expo or Centre? Centre, is it? So
yes,
Homebase Design and Build Centre. And it really is design and building everything you need at your fingertips. Great thing is there's cafes like we talked about, but it's just for inspiration. Dropping in and just seeing it and having a look around I call it like the IKEA, but for all sorts of different products. And it really is a department store. And I just think it's a great way to start. But at any stage during your process, it's a great place to just visit, even if you're halfway through and you need ideas. So thank you for coming in. If people like this podcast and they really find it interesting and they want to hear more of things like this, we do encourage them to leave a comment or even better yet, a review of what they found about it, because the reviews actually tells us, first of all, that they liked what we're talking about. But a big part of that also is it helps other people, helps promote our podcast for more people to hear it. But thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank you.